School. It's time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country, taking on the Dan River Wildcats. My name is Kyle Hoehne. Joining me, the man from the Hotel California. You can't hide his lion eyes, the desperado, Oscar Briggs. How you doing, Oscar?
I'm doing great. Boy, Kyle, it's frigid outside, but if history's any indication, it won't be cold in here tonight.
What a good matchup here tonight, folks. It's the 10-1 Dan River Wildcats hosting the 11-2 Altavista Colonels. You talk about two heavyweights here, Oscar, not just this season, but in recent memory. Hard to find any two basketball schools in the state of Virginia that have had this much success. The Colonels, a three-time defending state champion. Dan River, a state runner-up last year. The year before that, 2014, they were a state champion, and it seems like they're in the Final Four almost every year.
They've had a great run under Coach Kenny Murphy and the Edmonds family, and continue to bring player after player in. And tonight's squad is as talented as any we've seen this year, and probably it's talented as any Dan River's had in the last couple years.
We'll talk about this squad. We'll talk about the Colonel squad. We'll talk about the Altavista Colonels' victory over the Gretna Hawks Friday night. So much more. And, oh, yes, we'll get a chance to chat with head coach Troy Harris coming up in just a few moments on the Subway pregame show. You can eat fresh at 3 locations in Altavista: Main Street, inside the Walmart on the Clarion Road, and then further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fields. The only wrong choice is not opening the door. That's Subway, and you sure will eat fresh. We got a great ball game for you. As Oscar said, two heavyweights, the Wildcats, the Colonels, coming up in about 25 minutes, and you've got yourself, check that, it's coming up in about 18 minutes, and you've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant, so we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorsports. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out to get less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Bet Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Ringold. The Colonels in town taking on the Dan River Wildcats. And we're talking once again with the head coach of the Colonels, Mr. Troy Harris. And Coach Harris, let's talk about another Pittsylvania County team. You beat the Gretna Hawks on Friday at home. The rivalry game, you got on them early, and you never really let up. I think you didn't beat them by as much as you wanted to, or maybe felt like you should. But it was a 16-point win, and it was overall a pretty good performance.
Yeah, we'll always take the win. When Gretna comes in here, it's a big crowd, and it just seems to get ugly when we play them. It's hard to play a clean game the way they play. They push the ball fast, and we got to hustle to get back. We seem to foul a little bit too much, but we hit a bunch of shots, so that was definitely a plus. I think we hit 5 or 6 threes. Got to the rim a lot, finished a couple dunks. So overall, please, definitely we can work better to not foul as much and maybe get back a little bit better.
Yeah, you guys pride yourselves on your defense and your rebounding, but on offense, you have been having some of those dunks and the outside shooting. It makes for a pretty exciting brand of basketball. That's not really a factor for you as a coach, though, right? You just want them to get it in the bucket any way possible.
That's right. I think if you watched or listened to our Prince Edward game earlier, I don't mind making it ugly and holding the ball for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. But we have been playing a more exciting style because we're actually hitting shots now. We've been shooting. We haven't changed the way we play, really. It's just the shots are going in a little bit more now, and it just seems like we're playing a little bit more up-tempo or more exciting or whatever. But we're actually just hitting a few shots, which is it's about time. I'm tired of waiting around on it. We got our sea legs under us, and we're in full mid-season form, I guess, as they'd say.
Well, 3 guys in double figures. Lawrence Galliard really emerging as an offensive weapon to go along with guys like McClure and Dews and Malbeck and Poindexter. You like that fact? Does it make it harder for the defense to key on one guy?
Yeah, I like to say that if we can get 3 people in double figures, then we're going to be okay. And like we said earlier, if you get to 50 points, you're probably going to win. So the more people we have scoring and putting the ball in the bucket, it's going to be harder for the team to guard us. And Lawrence stepped up big time. I can't talk about him enough as far as the offensive end. If we can get him rebounding a little bit more, he'll finally hit his stride, I think. But adding his scoring punch in, getting him into the starting lineup, I think that's been a key to our offensive explosion a little bit.
Well, the Dan River Wildcats tonight, always a good ball club. It's always a good game when you guys play them. Tell us about this year's version of Dan River. I know they've lost some people, but they do have some familiar faces too.
Yeah, some things just stay the same, it seems like. Every time we play Dan River, they're big, they're athletic. It's some familiar faces, but even the new guys, they're big and athletic. They just seem to have them coming out of their ears down there. And they're just athletic, and they like to go, and they're big, and they're probably one of the most basketball smart teams we played. So it's not just athletic, crazy, running up and down. They know the situation. They know where to put the ball, and it'll definitely make our defensive rotations and adjustments a lot harder because they are under control when they're doing stuff. They're not just being athletes, wild and crazy, running out of their ears.
Well, what was you had 2 days to get ready for them, Saturday and then Monday. What was the main message for the guys? Or maybe it wasn't just one message, but what were some of the things you talked about as far as beating Dan River?
Well, they throw it up on the rim. They don't shoot it particularly well, and I tried to tell them that, but they do. They can hit it if you leave them open, but if they get it up on the rim, they crash the glass harder than anybody we've played all year, and they live off of, I call them trash buckets, where it's just bouncing around on the rim, and they just shove you and get you wherever they want you under the rim, and then they just get it and lay it back in. And they do that probably better than any team we played. So if we don't box out, we'll be down early and we won't be able to get out of the hole. So I'd say limiting the trash buckets and controlling the tempo, because if they get going on fast break and get layup after layup, they'll put us away pretty quick.
Well, one final thought here for you, Coach, on the Subway pregame show. You guys haven't beaten Dan River in a while, and it's been even longer since you beat him in Ringold. Is that a factor for these guys, or are they not thinking about that because, hey, they weren't on those teams 3 and 4 years ago?
I think they said something about it this morning, and I said, don't really worry about it. You guys haven't been out on the floor enough to even remember all that stuff. So I don't think we're intimidated, but Dan River seems to be a little bit of our kryptonite. I don't know why, but we're going to try to put an end to it tonight for sure.
Yeah, hopefully that changes tonight. It's the Colonels, it's the Wildcats, tip-off in about 20 on 105.5 KD Country.
I'm Jeff Walker of First National Bank and the manager at our Main Street branch in Altavista. Did you know that local bankers have a lot more at stake in taking better care of you? You see, helping local customers like you be more successful is our only focus, and each customer is so important. So for your small business, construction, and personal loan needs, think of me and think of us first. That's local First National Bank. We'll help you bring home more bacon. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. House salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
Go chant your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The House Salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg. This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One-stop mart where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food. Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns from Dan River High School down in Ringold, taking on the Wildcats. The gym is filling up as we speak, Oscar, probably about 80 to 90% full now, and more folks seem to be streaming in. Boy, it's always an exciting adventure when you come down to Dan River, and more often than not, it's a pretty good ball game.
And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but this is a hostile environment. These are very knowledgeable fans. They're rabid about their team. They urge them on. They're in your face as an opponent. It's a fun basketball atmosphere.
It sure is. And the crowd, like you said, they're knowledgeable. They're in your face, and they really are right on top of you. Many times they walk across the court to get to the stands. That can create for some adventures. More often than not, as well, it gets loud in here, Oscar. Part of that's just because the games are good. Part of that because these Wildcat fans root on their team, and Colonel fans make the trip down to do the same. The other thing is, with these Pittsylvania County gyms, Chatham and Gretna and Dan River, all pretty much the same design. They're small gyms. I mean, there's not a lot of room in here. It's not exactly the old Hoosiers days or the old gym at Altavista High School, but it is not a very large gym, so it can feel like you're playing basketball in a box.
Well, it's a 70s gym, and you call it a bandbox, and that's exactly what it's like. And the acoustics in it, the walls, the noise bounces off the walls. They do get loud. We talked earlier, 10 minutes ago, we were talking about it was an abnormally light crowd for a Dan River Altavista game, and lo and behold, it's a late arriving in L.A. crowd because, like you said, it's probably 90% full right now.
Yeah, it's filling up fast. More and more fans streaming in. On the Subway pregame show here, let's tell you about the Subway dining experience. Oscar, we'll skip you for now. Eleanor Hoehne, our very talented sound engineer, and I, we both went with the Turkey Tuesday. Another great experience, as always. It was Stephanie and Linda in there. When I went in, we gave Linda a hard time Friday about being a Gretna fan, said we wouldn't hold it again. We didn't give her a hard time. We said we were happy about it. We want fans from every place that we go and play to join in.
You got to be careful when you go into a dining establishment and give the people serving your food a hard time. You never have to worry about that at Subway, of course.
Right.
And, as Bob Alba says, the only mistake you can make is not going. I got hung up at work today and made the mistake and didn't go.
You should have texted me. I could have picked you up something. Anyway, no need to text now. You're already in the party. Hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of this great ball game. The Subway pregame show rolls on right after this. We'll tell you more about this Dan River Wildcat squad. We'll introduce you to the Colonels if you're a new listener. We'll set the starting lineups. It'll be ready for the tip-off between the Wildcats and the Colonels. Less than 5 minutes away. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Altavista.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home
Center.
Business 29, Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Dan River High School. The Altavista Colonels taking the trip down 29 to take on the Wildcats. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs, and Big O. Let's discuss some of the names that fans are going to hear for this Dan River team. Probably got to start with the captain of the squad, Rodney Womble. He and some guys like Devin Stone, they've been around for a while, and they complement the new faces nicely.
It feels like they have been here forever. You talk about Devin Stone, who's averaging 9.8. Rodney Womble's 9.6. Kasim Harris is averaging 9.4. Zamar Anderson, 10.2. And JoJo Reynolds at 8.2. You know, very, very balanced attack. You throw in some freshmen like Daniel Dickerson and recent newcomer Ben McCann is starting to heat up the outside shot for Dan River, and it's a formidable team that the Colonels are facing tonight.
It really is. Zamar Anderson is one of those guys that you and I fell in love with out on the gridiron, a great athlete who really gets after it. We're having a good time chatting with head coach Troy Harris and also one of the officials, Mr. H.F. Haymore, who is one of the all-time nice guys just in officiating and in life. Lost my train of thought there for a second. The great Dan River team, yeah. Top to bottom, I mean, it's a good squad. They can go to that bench. Kenny Murphy's got some pieces that he can sort of move around like the chess master out there if he needs to. But these guys can just flat out get up and down a basketball court. The Altavista Colonels, they're led in scoring by a senior, number 2, Nelson Dews, 11.8 a game. Josh McClure not far behind at 9.8 a game. And Oscar, as we've seen, it can be numerous guys doing damage, and lately it's been a whole lot of the young Lawrence Galliard doing some damage.
Well, that's a great point, and you talk about Josh McClure. News and Advance published their area leaders in stats over the last couple of days, and lo and behold, Josh McClure leading the area in rebounding with almost 9 a game.
Great stuff there from Josh McClure. Almost national anthem time, and when we come back from that, I'll tell you about our starting lineup. Then we'll announce the starting lineups for both ball clubs, and it'll be tip-off before you know it. So glad that you're tuned in to us on a chilly, chilly Tuesday morning. Bundle up, throw some more kindling on the fire, and just listen to some Colonel basketball and enjoy yourself. As it's going to be a fun ride here, and it could get a little bumpy at times in Dan River. We're always enjoying the fact that we get to come down here. We used to get to come down here sometimes twice a year, Oscar, in the district tournament.
We've been down here 3 times before.
Exactly. Hey, the last time the Colonels won in Dan River, won in Ringold, was back in 2011 in the district tournament. We'll talk about that in a little bit more when we come back. National anthem time here from Dan River High School. It'll be the Wildcats and the Colonels when we return to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns from Ringold as we get to chat with the lovely Deja, the statistician scorekeeper for the Altavista Colonels. And let me tell you about our starting lineup, Oscar, the folks that bring you this great ball game. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. KCD Maintenance, Kenny can do it maintenance. Call 665-1333. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English is your complete home center, now offering the complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29, just south of the airport. The Moose Family Center in Altavista, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Streaming online audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your all-state agent in Windhurst. Basketball fans, always in good hands with Chad Rakos. This is the Subway pregame show. You can make any Subway Deluxe for just 50 cents more. That's 50% more meat for just 50 cents more on a 6-inch sub. Oscar Briggs, looks like we got our starting lineups out of the way. How about the two teams?
Absolutely. For the Dan River Wildcats, number 5, Devin Stone. Number 2, Rodney Womble. Number 24, Seam Harris. Number 33, Samar Anderson. And number 44, JoJo Reynolds. All those names familiar to the Altavista fans, and certainly Coach Kenny Murphy's proven to be one of the better coaches in the area as he's progressed over the last few years.
They've won so many games. Before Coach Kenny Murphy, it was Coach Jacob Gruss, who is now the head coach at Cave Spring High School.
No slouch either.
No slouch either, absolutely.
For the Colonels?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nelson Dews, number 2. Number 3, Mateo Malbeck. Number 4, Daquan Poindexter. Number 15, Lawrence Galliard. And rounding out the Colonels starter, number 30, Josh McClure. Of course, Colonels coached by first-year head coach Troy Harris.
Colonels come in at 11-2. Dan River entering at 10-1. And let me say this about Jacob Gruss and Kenny Murphy. Even before those guys were here, Mr. Briggs, Dan River, always a well-known basketball school. I think they were in the state finals back in 2000. They've always had a lot of success. Maybe 1 or 2 lean years in there, but for the most part, a basketball tradition, a lot like Altavista's. Jump ball got knocked out of bounds. They're going to say last touch off of the Altavista Colonels. It'll be Dan River basketball on the near sideline. Wildcats didn't really realize it at first. Dan River in the home white jerseys with blue trim, Wildcats written over the number. Colonels in the road black with orange trim. Lawrence Galliard guarding the basketball, which is controlled by Kasim Harris. Now it's over to the left point in Devin Stone's hands. Devin Stone about 5 feet away from the left sideline, far sideline from us as we're courtside down here at Dan River. Jaquan Durant catches, gets it to McCann. They swing the basketball around to the left side, and this is Zamar Anderson. Anderson driving in left baseline, had it swatted away. Gets it back at the edge of the paint. Wants to try again. Contested shot won't go. Galliard saves it into Mateo Malbeck. Nice defensive stand there by the Colonels, Oscar, to get a couple blocks.
Very nice patience. Dan River in a spread, Altavista in a man-to-man, and Colonels, great defense on that play.
Nelson Dews triggers the three. It's good. Nelly gets the party started from the right corner with a 3-ball. Colonels lead by that much. 7:09 left to play in the first. Malbeck and Galliard block a Devin Stone driving shot attempt out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Colonels have 3 blocks already, and we're only 53 seconds into the ball game.
Boy, Mateo got his hand on that, and just for a good point, nice closure by Lawrence coming over. Oh,
Anderson tried the up and under layup. It wouldn't go. It hit the padding on the backboard. He was fouled. Malbeck can't believe it. Very quiet crowd so far. I expected more noise than this. They will whistle it. First one on Mateo Malbeck. His face tells the story. He is in complete and utter disbelief.
Colonels will have to be patient on defense and ensure that they don't get themselves in foul trouble.
And the way Dan River attacks the basket, the way they get into the paint, those fouls can rack up rather quickly, Mr. Briggs.
Yes.
First free throw off the mark for Anderson.
Great point.
7:05 left to play in the first quarter. Colonels lead 3-0. Free throw no good. Dan River has missed every shot attempted so far. Poindexter will sprint it into the front court for the Altavista Colonels. They're going to set up shop on offense. Nelson Dews, waist high right-hand dribble, moving softly to his right. Kicks over to Poindexter. Poindexter driving. That was number 10, Jaquan Durant. They really just had a body on Poindexter the whole time, and they'll whistle him for a foul. With 6:51 left to play in the first.
Dan River matching in man-to-man.
Colonels throw it into the long sleeve Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck sends it right back to Daquan Poindexter. 6:44 left to play in the first. Galliard at the left free throw line. Now right wing over to Malbeck. Malbeck wants to drive, dished it back to Galliard. Galliard scoop shot up and in. 2 points for Lawrence Galliard, and the Colonels, lead 5-0.
That was a nice feed from Mateo back to Lawrence.
Yeah, penetrated, then sent it right back to Lawrence, who was waiting patiently. Oh, McClure didn't really block a shot, but he blocked a pass into the hands of Galliard. McClure's going to bring it up the far sideline now. Head of steam dribble, leaves it off for Poindexter. Poindexter strides in from the right side, can't get the lay-in to fall. Malbeck fires the 3, back iron no good. Rebound will get traced down by Lawrence Galliard. It's back to Mateo Malbeck. He'll start to drive from the three-point line. Fouled about 5 feet away from the hoop. He's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. 6:03 left to play in the first.
It is early. 6:03 remaining here in the first quarter, but right now, the effort points are going to the Colonels right now. They're getting the loose balls. They're hustling, getting the rebounds.
Does it feel like not only the Wildcats lack some energy, but the gym itself lacks some energy? I mean, as we're talking here, I look around and look at everybody, and they're looking at us. It's like a library in here right now. I halfway expect somebody to turn to us and give us the shush finger or something.
I mean, Jake Adams is even listening.
It's a quiet gym right now. It's rare that you can say a Wildcat gym is quiet, but it is quiet down here at Dan River. And Malbeck cans, both of them. 7-0 lead for the Colonels.
That's right. Colonels up 7-0, and it is quiet so far.
Motion offense for Dan River. They've got Harris posting up here on the far post. They swing it around the perimeter. This is Durant moving slowly to his right. Chest pass to Devin Stone. Back to Durant. Pitch and catch between those two guys. Back in the hands of Stone. Stone driving right side. Shot hit the iron, but wouldn't fall. Then it's knocked out of bounds after a little bit of a scrum. 5:40 left to play in the first. 7-0. The Altavista Colonels on top. Wildcats will inbound on the baseline underneath their own scoring bucket. Stone holds it over his head, looking for somewhere to go. Bullet pass finds Anderson. Anderson off the window and in with the left hand for 2. Wildcats finally on the board. 7-2, Colonels lead.
Nicely designed inbounds play.
Malbeck going to crouch down to avoid the defense. Full speed. Oh, pull-up jumper from 16. Won't fall. Galliard with the tip in, though. Lawrence, I think, didn't have complete control over it, and he wanted to be careful that he didn't go inside the cylinder for a goaltend. He got it to go. McCann's going to fire a pull-up 3. That's good. Pardon me, it's more of a catch-and-shoot 3. They left it for him on the bounce pass.
And then McCann, only averaging about 3 a game over the last 2 or 3 games, has really started to heat up.
How good did that stroke look from the corner there by McCann? Yeah, just straight on piston.
How about that one?
Wow, how about a stroke? Fall-away jump shot from the right side, 14-footer. Book it for Nelson Dews. 11-5, Colonels lead, and they're shooting well. See what the kind of answer the Wildcats have on this possession. 4:45 left to play in the first. Bumped in the interior of the paint was Jaquan Durant. I think it was Lawrence Galliard that got him with the hip.
They're not flashing it up on the screen. Yeah, they are.
They are.
It's Daquan Poindexter with his first.
Starters still on the court for the Colonels. It's Malbach, Poindexter, McClure, Galliard, and Dews. Inbound play coming up on the baseline for Dan River. They lob it backwards to Jaquan Durant. He has to sky up to catch it. 4:40 left to play in the first. 11-5 Colonels lead. There's a walking violation. Nice. Durant that got going too fast.
Well, he did get going too fast, and it was nice help sliding over from Nelson Dews that allowed made him pick up that ball and travel.
Great point. Defensive rotation executed pretty perfectly there. Colonels in a motion offense now, working against the man-to-man defense from the Wildcats. Malbach catches, far corner, holds it over his head. Right-hand dribble, just going to shovel it backwards near the half-court stripe to Nelson Dews. Nelly's just left of center. Now he'll bring it between the circles. Galliard on the left wing is going to think about a drive. Back to Nelson Dews. 4:15 left to play in the quarter. 11-5, Colonels on top by 6. Nelly, left-hand drive, cut off. Met some resistance at the free throw line. Galliard's going to try a pull-up jumper. Too strong. High rebound collected by Zamar Anderson. Wildcats going the other way, and Nelson Dews going to get caught with his hand in the cookie jar and commits a foul.
Yes, 65, 70 feet from the basket. You can't afford to get your hand caught in the cookie jar. Galliard took that little 15-footer. That's something that we've talked about, and certainly want to see him develop that shot as he gets a little bit deeper into the season. Once he develops that, he's going to have a complete game.
Yeah, he was open for it, and certainly the stroke looked good. It's just a little bit too strong. We're over halfway through the first quarter, and it's brought to you by English's, your complete home center, and your home for Atrium Vinyl Windows. Kenny Murphy wants to take a timeout. Let's take it with him. 3:48 left to play in the first. Colonels on top, 11-5 on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorcycles. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out to get less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Spec Back guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Oscar and I will have a few shout-outs as the game goes on. The Colonels lead by 6. 3:44 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, first quarter. This is Anderson at the free throw line. Looks like the Colonels may have gone into a zone during the timeout, Oscar Briggs. Dan River gets it to the right wing. That's Jaquan Durant. Holds it over his head, trying to find a man posting up down low. Colonels try to double team Kasim Harris. He puts it up and in with a strong power move inside. Malbach skied up there to try and take away the entry pass, but Kasim Harris, just too big, too strong, ripped it away from him and stuck it up and in. And foul is actually on Cameron Hughes, number 1, who entered the ball game for the Altavista Colonels.
Yeah, Hughes is physically is no match.
Kasim Harris, speaking of physical, 6'5", 225. I'd give him about 230 or 240 very easily. Did miss the free throw. That makes it an 11-7 Colonel lead. They bounce it in the right corner to Nelson Dews. Nelly swings it down low into the right post to Daquan Poindexter, and his shot is batted away off the back wall. It'll stay with the Colonels. First time we get to see Chancellor Mormon, who checks in the game for Mateo Malbach. Updates from the Lady Colonels affair against Dan River to come. Nelson Dews, catch and shoot 3. Ooh, just barely skipped off the iron. Looked good for a long time. Poindexter stole it away from McCann, though, and Poindexter is fouled. Daquan Poindexter will head to the charity stripe to shoot a pair with 3:11 left to play in the first quarter.
Kasim Harris is listed at 225.
Yeah, you're not buying that either.
No, he's 240.
His bones must be hollow or something to only be 225. I mean, he is solid, moves well, likes to score around the bucket. First free throw, no good by Daquan Poindexter. Lawrence Galliard will re-enter the ball game. He joins Poindexter, Hughes, Mormon, and Nelson Dews. On the court for the Wildcats, it looks like Devin Stone, Bennett McCann, Kasim Harris, Zamar Anderson, and Jaquan Durant. No, pardon me, JoJo Reynolds is in the game now. We've seen JoJo Reynolds in years past.
Yes, we have. Seen JoJo hit some huge shots coming down the stretch in several games.
12-7, Colonels lead on the defensive side with 2:57 left to play in the first. Anderson had it in the left corner. Now back to Reynolds. Reynolds over to the right wing, and Devin Stone. Stone for 3, and he got it. Chancellor Mormon tried to get in there and close out, but was just maybe a half step too late. Lead for the Colonels has been trimmed to 2. Remember, they opened up with a 7-0 lead. Poindexter kicks to Mormon in the corner. Now it's back up to the top of the key to Nelson Dews. Nelly's got it over to Cameron Hughes, right wing. Cameron ran into the defense and cut off, decided to get rid of the basketball. 2:20 left to play in the first quarter. Poindexter lost on the far sideline. Ball is still loose. Mormon's going to pick it up. It went in the backcourt. It was sent back there by Dan River.
He did a nice job of making sure he didn't touch the ball before it went into the backcourt. Nelly on the drive.
Wow, in transition, floating, firing from about 7 feet, 14-10. Nelson Dews extends the Colonel's lead back to 4.
Nelson was 7. Certainly looks more aggressive on the offensive end tonight.
Really does. Anderson in the middle of paint. Back to the free throw line to Harris. Ooh, Harris. Soft touch jumper with the left hand. Don't tell me the big man has that, too. Gosh, that's tough to stop.
That's a sweet little stroke he just showed right there, if he can sustain that.
14-12. Colonel still lead by 2. They've led the entire ball game, if you joined us late, as much as 7-0 at one point. 1:42 left to play. This is Daquan Poindexter in the left wing. Left-hand dribble. Just sort of hands it off to Nelly, who was coming around the back door. Now it's Chancellor Mormon between the circles. Chest pass, right wing to Cameron Hughes. Hughes will cycle it back all the way over to the left wing to Daquan Poindexter. 90 seconds left to play in the first. Poindexter hangs. Layup won't go. Galliard's putback won't go. Dan River looking to run the fast break. Bennett McCann coming down the left side. He'll slow it down. He might have drugged the foot. 3 ball on the way from Stone. It will.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. That hung up on the rim for what seemed like an eternity. And now the Dan River crowd comes alive. The Wildcats have their first lead.
Boy, that was a big swing. The follow-up by Galliard that wouldn't fall, and then the subsequent travel, and then the 3 that just hung on and just fell in.
Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Finally, some noise from the Dan River crowd. Wildcats lead 15-14. Nelson in trouble momentarily, but shoveled it off to Poindexter. Mormon wants to fire for 3. It looked good for a moment, but hit off the side of the iron. Wildcats in transition. This is Anderson trying to sneak by. He does sneak by, dishes it off to JoJo Reynolds. Reynolds scores, and it's a 17-14 lead now for Dan River. Their biggest of the night, but it seems a little obvious to say. 25 seconds left to play in the first. Colonels would probably prefer to hold for 1 shot here, but we'll see what Troy Harris has in mind. See what the 5 guys on the court have in mind. Nelly tried to scoop up and under layup and was bodied and hit hard by, it looks like, Zamar Anderson. They both have to kind of pick themselves up off the floor and dust each other off as they both hit the deck kind of hard, Oscar.
Colonels were up 11-5, Kyle. So, nice little 12-3 run here by Dan River. I like what Troy Harris has done with his substitution pattern. He's gotten a lot of fresh players in.
Yeah, first break I believe Nelson Dews has had. They're going to send him back out because he was in the act of shooting.
It is a little warm in here tonight. The gym is heating up.
Yeah, the gym is heating up. It was freezing outside. I think there's some confusion now with the referees. Oh, Nelson Dews has got to get off the court. The Colonels have 6 guys in the court.
How is that not an act of shooting? Jake Adams says he doesn't care.
Wow, yeah, Jake Adams continued to play. He caught the inbound pass, stuck it in off the window from the right side. Colonels got a point, got 2 points there, Oscar.
Yeah,
a chance for 3, but they might have dodged a bullet as far as the technical goes. They had 6 on the court momentarily.
Yeah,
I don't know how Nelly wasn't in the act of shooting.
No, he was. And Jake knocks down his free throw. We're tied.
Good going by Jake Adams. 17-17. 12 seconds left to play. Adams nearly got a steal. Tried to step in front of Jaquan Durant. Now he's going to foul Jaquan Durant as Durant was trying to dribble by him, coming in from the right baseline.
15 foul.
17 all.
9 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Kyle.
They inbound it to JoJo Reynolds. Reynolds driving, left hand, gets into the paint. Shots up, off the rim, won't go down. Ball is loose. Wildcats have it back with 2 seconds. Fade away by Zamar Anderson, won't go, and there's the horn. Kasim Harris tried to put back at the end of the quarter, but it was after the buzzer had sounded. We've played 1 from Ringold, and we're tied, 17-17. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, we told you it was a heavyweight matchup in the first round. Does not disappoint. 17-17. Colonels led for most of that quarter. Dan River snatched a 1-point lead, then turned it into a 17-14 lead, Oscar, and then a Jacob Adams 3-point play with about 12 seconds left in the quarter brings us to the tie where we're at now.
Colonels take possession here, beginning of the second quarter.
On the court right now to start the second quarter for the Colonels, clad in their road black jerseys. It's Jacob Adams, Mateo Malback, Lawrence Galliard, Josh McClure, and Chancellor Mormon. McClure, fadeaway jump shot from just outside the paint, won't fall. Rebounded by Kasim Harris. Wildcats going the other way. This is Reynolds. He's bodied to the deck. Galliard grabs the rebound, but he fell over JoJo Reynolds. Coach Harris trying to say, now that's a foul. Even though he didn't mean to knock Galliard down, intent is not the issue in basketball. It's just the fact that he knocked it down. There. I think it's a valid point Coach Harris has. Either way, it's Dan River basketball after what they call a traveling violation on Lawrence Galliard on the rebound. Foul on Zamar Anderson. He and Josh McClure were battling for the basketball, and Anderson got too much of McClure. Boy, Colonel basketball.
And I like the call the officials made on that. They were battling, and he did a little swim move on Josh, and they called it. You don't get that call in high school very often. Talks to the experience of the crew.
Sure does. Malback's going to bring it into the front court. Ooh, whips a one-hand pass to McClure at the free throw line. Now back out to Mormon. Malback's jump shot was altered from 16 feet and wouldn't go down. Wildcats in a hurry the other way.
Chancellor Mormon said, no, you're not.
Mormon steps in front. He's going to dribble down, leaves it off for Galliard, and Galliard slams it home with two. Great job by Chancellor Mormon to get the steal, start the fast break, and then find Lawrence Galliard waiting patiently up ahead with a two-handed dunk. Colonels grab the lead back.
It was a 2-on-1 fast break for Dan River, and Chancellor just played it perfectly.
Galliard's got a steal now in the low post. Colonels may be gathering some more momentum here with 6:47 left to play in the second. Malback wants to drive, scoop lay-in, hits the backboard but won't fall down. Oh, Wildcats got going a little too quickly. Devin Stone with the behind-the-back dribble. They'll say a Colonel must have got their hand on that and knocked it away.
Chancellor Mormon had got his hand in there. Nice hustle by Chancellor. Impact player those couple minutes he was on the floor.
Sure was. Nelson Dews returns to the ball game for Chancellor Mormon. He joins McClure, Adams, Galliard, and Malback. Dan River basketball as Devin Stone will just trot it into the front court. A lot of juniors on this Dan River team. Devin Stone is one of them. Seems like they've all been playing for 2 or 3 years already.
That's right.
Bennett McCann catches right wing. No dribble. Going to send it back to JoJo Reynolds. JoJo Reynolds, NBA range three, won't go from the head of the key. Offensive rebound, though, by Dan River was McCann tracing down the long rebound. Harris catches in the low post. Double team. Shot won't fall. Reynolds tried to put back. That won't go. There's Jacob Adams with a nice rebound and a good job to get down low in a crouch and protect the basketball.
Boy, good minutes from Jake Adams so far here tonight.
He's really playing well out there. Active. Had the three-point play to end the first. Malback might have forced the jump shot up from the baseline. Didn't draw any iron. Under 6 minutes to play now. Dan Rivers on the attack. Reynolds in and out of traffic. Left-hand finish won't go. There's Jacob Adams with another rebound. He wants to hustle in the front court.
Nice move by Jake.
It goes down. What a play by Jacob Adams. He got the rebound, ran the coast-to-coast fast break, the little pass fake at the end.
Kenny Murphy said he's seen enough.
Kenny Murphy wants to take a timeout. Colonels fans are into it. We hope you're into it as well. 21-17, Altavista on top. Timeout on the court with 5.5 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonel's bench really making an impact, Oscar. It was Chancellor Mormon with the steal and then the dish up ahead to Galliard for the dunk, and Jacob Adams having one of his best 4-minute spurts of the season right now.
Kenny Murphy calling timeout after Colonel's little 4-0 run here is beginning. Coach Troy Harris, we're in close proximity to the bench, so he was informing his players, guys, no trash talking. Let's keep focused.
We are courtside here at Dan River. Wildcats get it into Bennett McCann. It was tough defense from the Colonels to make it happen. Here's Kasim Harris, low post, has to reach down and pick up the basketball off the ground. Now it's a dish out to Reggie Venable. That shot won't go. Rebound tapped around. Colonels had their hands on it momentarily, and now a foul as Nelson Dews was trying to trace down that rebound. Or perhaps more of a loose ball would be accurately describing that. Actually, the foul's on Daquan Poindexter.
Yeah, and that's his second. He immediately comes out of the game. Cameron Hughes replacing him.
Cameron Hughes coming off that Colonels bench. He's played well, too. Some defense and some rebounding. 21-17. Colonels lead by 4. 5:14 left to play in the second quarter. Reggie Venable sort of running the point guard spot now for the Wildcats. Look like the Colonels might be back in a zone. It's hard to tell, though. I think it's actually a man-to-man. Wildcats passing around the perimeter. This is McCann, fakes left, now passes right to Reggie Venable. Back to McCann between the circles. Top of the key, it goes to Bryson McLaughlin. His shot won't go. Harris has the rebound and stick back it in. He caught it from the left side, and being left-handed really helped him there because he was able to get free for a shot off the window and in.
Certainly able to use his body to shield the Altavista defender off of it.
21-19, Colonels lead by 2. McClure catches in the left post. Oh,
there
nice up and under move.
Absolutely.
Good job by McClure to lose the defender and have a clear lane to the backboard and then in for 2. 23-19.
Nice patience by Josh on that play, letting that play develop and letting his fake take effect.
Wildcat basketball in the front court with 4:15 left to play in the half. Colonels on defense in the road black jerseys. Dan River going left to right or north to south from our perspective here as we are down in the corner at Dan River High School. This is Jaquan Durant, stops at the free throw line, 16-footer won't fall. Colonels bench making some noise. There's Bennett McCann on a catch-and-shoot 3 after the rebound. Harris
nice hustle by Cameron.
Cameron Hughes dislodged it from Kasim Harris in the far corner, and Lawrence Galliard picked it up off the ground.
Colonels are getting beat on the offensive glass, Kyle.
Colonels have given up some rebounds here lately. Hughes, off-balance 3, hit the top of the backboard. Lawrence Galliard manages to track down the rebound for the Colonels. Extra possession here, speaking of offensive rebounds.
Nice pass.
One-hand wing pass from Malback to Hughes. Galliard tried the second chance try. That was swatted out of his hands. Colonels had a lot of chances on that trip down. Couldn't convert any of them. Not sure it was all negatives, though. They did have a decent possession, just not very good on the shooting end of things.
Yeah, that was not a pretty three-pointer by Cameron Hughes. Went off the top of the backboard.
Hughes would love to have a better try at that. He's a much better shooter than that.
He's not going to get it. Jake Adams is coming in. I guarantee he's replacing Cameron.
23-19, Colonels on top by 4. 3:15 left to play. Kasim Harris really trying to battle for position in the low post. Zamar Anderson, pull-up tray from the left wing, doesn't go. Offensive rebound from the Wildcats. They'll restart things. Jaquan Durant drives, floater, charge.
I wonder if that whistle was going to blow or not.
Lawrence Galliard stepping in there to take the charge on Jaquan Durant. Durant had the full head of steam, and Galliard did a nice job to time it up and see that Oscar Galliard has taken 4 charges on the year. That is second to Mateo Malback for the team lead.
That's surprising. I would think that number was a little bit higher.
Well, Lawrence likes to block shots.
Well, he does.
So. But a heady play there to keep his feet set and take the contact. McClure in trouble along the near baseline. Then he throws it away. Steal. This is Elijah Motley in the game now. It feels like Dan Rivers played everybody. Motley fell over, and that's a traveling violation. Slid to the deck there, just lost his footing. We told you Kenny Murphy had the weapons. He's got the horses in the stable. He can mix and match and play a bunch of different combinations.
One player I haven't seen on the floor yet for Dan Rivers, number 32, Daniel Dickerson. Story about him after a break.
Nelson Dews fell down and lost the dribble. The footing here at Dan River might be a bit of an issue, Oscar.
Yeah,
we walked across it on the way here. I mean, it didn't have that tacky feel, but it didn't feel dusty.
Not till we walked across it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe we dragged it. We dragged the dust in. Nelson Dews is going to commit a foul in the backcourt. Coach Harris, not particularly pleased with Nelly picking up his second foul there.
2:37 remaining in the quarter, and he's 80 feet from the basket. You can't afford to make that mistake. You just can't put that kind of pressure. You're not going to make that play.
To put that in perspective, Dan River has an 84-foot basketball court, so basically he was the full court length away. Bennett McCann will try the one-on-one. Cans the first one. 23-20 now. Dan River trims the Altavista lead to 3.
McCann's got a very, very nice stroke.
2:37. Time is really flying by in this ball game. Coach Kenny Murphy's taken a couple timeouts for Dan River, but not much else. Neither team shot a lot of free throws. McCann makes the second one. He does have a very good stroke, possibly the best shooting form we've seen all year. McClure at the three-point line. Now step inside for an 18-footer. That won't fall. Trying to track down his own rebound. It's still loose. Colonels have it. This is Jacob Adams again. He'll pull up from 17 feet, in and out on the jump shot.
Not making good decisions with their shots. Need to show more patience.
Dan River going the other way quickly. McCann got Adams up in the air, but decided to pass it off. Tamar Anderson with full confidence on the jump shot from the left elbow. We're tied again, 23-23. Tamar Anderson with a 15-footer for two.
And when the Colonels took that early lead, they were very patient.
Nelly off the back iron, no good. You're right, they've lost the patience. They're relying strictly on the jump shot. Nelson's going to try it again. Oh, in and out for three. Won't fall. Dan River on the attack. This is Stone that will jog it in the front court.
Wow.
Gets to the left edge and scores. Wow, Stone with not the best positioning in the world, but he made it work for two. 25-23. Crowd rising to his feet. Timeout on the court for the Colonels. We'll take it with them. 1:37 left to play in the half. They trail by 2 on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
25-23. The Wildcats have their second lead of the night. 1:37 left to play in the half. We could hear some of the message from Coach Harris, Oscar. What do you think the entire message was in the timeout?
Well, just what we had talked about before they went to break is be patient, set up the shot, quit taking, you're too quick, you're taking wild shots.
McClure is going to try a set-up three there on the set play. Won't fall, hit the side of the iron. Rebound cleared off by the Wildcats. Oh, they got going too quickly. The bounce pass never found the hands of JoJo Reynolds, and he was forced to try and track it down. Out of bounds, Colonels basketball going to go the full length of the court with 1:19 left to play in the half.
Coach Harris was also saying don't play their game, and the Colonels have gotten into a little bit of a track meet. You're going to lose if you do that with Dan River.
Man-to-man defense right now for the Wildcats. Colonel's trying to free up Nelson Dews on the left wing for a three. He catches. It's not there, though, and he passes it back to Malback at the head of the key. Nelly catch and shoot again. They'll fire to Josh McClure in the right corner. Back to Lawrence Galliard at the top of the key. Colonels run the motion offense now. 52 seconds left to play in the second quarter. They trail by 2. McClure, NBA move, jab step, gets to the edge of the paint. Shot was blocked away. He'll get it back. Looking for somewhere to go. Uses the right-hand dribble to find some space. 39 seconds left in the half. 25-23, Dan River on top. Each team's committed 7 fouls. Nelly with a head fake. Now backs it out to the right wing. Oh, Mateo Malback with a really long three. That was 2 steps beyond NBA range. That was a full 27 feet. Bennett McCann, floater off the window, won't fall. Galliard was battling for the rebound. Harris might have been on his back, and the basketball ends up in our laps as we pass it off to the esteemed H.F. Haymore, who, hard to find a referee that has more fun than H.F.
You're right. He enjoys it, doesn't he? And his shoes are just immaculate.
Shoes are fabulous. 20 seconds left to play in the half. Let's see if the Colonels can tie it or take the lead before the halftime buzzer break. 25-23. Malback just going to walk it across the timeline. Down to 10 seconds. Good hard screen by McClure. That three-pointer's no good from Malback. Out of bounds, last touch off of Dan River. Colonels are going to have 4.4 seconds left to get it inbounds.
Colonels have had good luck with inbounds. Coach Harris is calling the play.
They've scored a lot on inbounds plays this year. Hughes will get it inbounds for the Colonels. Bounce pass to Galliard. He's there on the right post. Sticks it up. Shot too long. 1 second left. Wildcats won't even get a buzzer beater try up. That ends a good 2 quarters of basketball. Wildcats lead heading into the locker room, 25-23. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hi, I'm Tracy Robinson of First National Bank. Did you know there are great home mortgage opportunities available right now? With rates being at an all-time low and 100% financing, our recognized mortgage lenders will deliver the right loan for your needs. Put this together with our other progressive mortgage products, our fast local service, and we're ready to lend. First National Bank, over 100 years of dependable custom banking. For you and your money, that's important. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Alta Vista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels trail by 2 to start the Subway halftime show. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. You notice I threw all the Eagles references. Unfortunately, Glenn Fry passed away, one of the all-time greats. So we'll say the heat is on here in the gym at Dan River. It does feel pretty good in here. I know it's cold outside. I'm really dreading when we have to leave and go back out into the winter there.
Yeah, it is warm in here. 25-23, Colonels trail by 2. Interesting ball game. It's had ebbs and flows, but really no. I don't know. It's got an odd feel to it. We talked about it after the first quarter. It's got an odd feel, and it was 17-17 after the first quarter, and you know it even got even weirder. There's just this odd flow of the game.
The crowd did come to life at times for Dan River, and the Colonel fans that are here did make some noise at times, particularly when the Colonels had that 7-0 lead to start things out. Colonels also led 11-5 at one point. Since then, it's been pretty much back and forth. Dan River took the lead. Alta Vista took it back. We were tied 17-17 at the end of the first, if you joined us late. Dan River leads by 2 now, 25-23. And we'll take another time out here in the Subway halftime show to get our thoughts together and think about what kind of crazy stuff we want to discuss here as the Subway halftime show rolls on. It's the Dan River Wildcats 25, the Alta Vista Colonels 23. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Alta Vista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Alta Vista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food, Alta Vista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Alta Vista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Alta Vista Sports Club.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists, providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns from Dan River High School. Wildcats lead 25-23 in what's been a very back-and-forth first half of basketball. I am Kyle Hoehne. He is Oscar Briggs. Big O, I don't see many of those former Colonels that have been so prominent at the games lately normally sitting in the front row. Don't see Juan Thornhill, Michi Malback, Clyde Moon, Destin Brown, Donovan Montague was around for a few games. The brothers Johnson, Darius, and Demetrius. Don't see those guys. So if any of them are listening at home, big shout out to them. Certainly miss your energy and your excitement. Normally when the Colonels have been having those dunks, Mr. Briggs, whether it's Galliard or Poindexter or whoever else,
that's right.
Those former Colonels are the first guys to jump up and really make some noise. Do have Eric Poindexter, former state champion for the Colonels, in the house tonight. Altavista did bring a pretty decent cheering section down, but certainly the Dan River crowd is a little bit larger, although I would argue not making as much noise right now.
Yeah, we talked about it was a hostile environment. Pretty subdued tonight.
Yeah.
For a Dan River crowd. I'm sure that as this second half heats up and the game gets a little bit more urgency to it, that you'll see that crowd come to life.
Maybe they're cold or something. Really, it feels good in the gym out here. We know it's chilly. If you're riding around town right now listening to us, like Bob Alvis, who's listening in Forest right now. I don't know if he's riding around, but Bob is listening. Definitely be safe out there on the roadways, and the major weather is coming later on in the week, but we'll leave that for another time. Oscar, you got any halftime scoring numbers for us to digest?
Boy, I do, and pretty balanced scoring for Dan River. Devin Stone with 8, Kasim Harris with 6, Benny McCann with 5, Zamar Anderson with 4, JoJo Reynolds with 1 basket for 2 points. For the Colonels, Nelson Dews with 7, Mateo Malback with 2, Daquan Poindexter with 1, Galliard with 6, Jake Adams with a big 5 points off the bench, and 2 points from Josh McClure.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the bench play from guys like Jacob Adams, Chancellor Mormon, Cameron Hughes. I think they've really done a nice job for the Altavista Colonels. To my knowledge, those are the only 3 bench guys to play so far. Does that sound right, Oscar?
Yeah,
I think that's right.
That's it.
But they've done a really nice job, and they've really a big reason why the Colonels are in the position that they're in, 25-23. Let's take one more time out on the Subway halftime show. We'll get it together. We'll talk about Subway. You know there's 3 great locations. If you're riding around right now, pop into Subway. I'm sure they've got the game on there, so enjoy a little Colonel's Hoops and some really good food. Main Street location, also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. Subway halftime show continues right after this. Colonels trail by 2 against the Dan River Wildcats. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
And just like that, the third quarter is underway from Dan River High School. Wildcat basketball to start things off. You didn't miss anything. Zamar Anderson going to try a long three, and he's got it. Left wing three-pointer good from number 33. Agent Z, Zamar Anderson. Wildcats extend the lead. Man, they're up 5 all of a sudden. Crazy what the three-pointer can do. Galliard tried sort of a half-hearted three-point attempt, and that's no good. Wildcats going the other way in a hurry. Devin Stone flips it along the baseline, and it's poked away.
Boy,
in the hands of Josh McClure.
Colonel's got to be really careful here. They cannot get into a running game with Dan River. They've got to be patient on the offensive end and make good shot selection.
And they do not want to fall down double digits. McClure passes
Oh, my
across
goodness.
the lane to Galliard. Galliard could not make the shot from point-blank range. Stone driving. It'll fall. Pardon me, that is Jaquan Durant that got it to go at the right-hand finish. 30-23. Colonels trail by 7 all of a sudden. Doesn't feel like that long ago that they had a lead. Altavista basketball in the front court. Coach Harris imploring his guys to take a good shot. McClure gives his man the shoulder. That's Harris. Shot doesn't fall. Hit off the side of the iron. He will go to the line and shoot, too, although we did see that one moment where we thought Nelson Dews would be shooting. He wasn't. Foul is Harris' second.
So just like that, 5-0 run here, 6:36 into the remaining in the third quarter.
Well, if I asked you about halftime adjustments for the Colonels, I'm sure you would have said the shot selection has to improve. So far in this first minute and a half of basketball in the third, it has not improved. Although, you know, Galliard took a good shot. He just couldn't convert from point-blank range. Same thing with McClure. Missed the last free throw. Shot too strong. Kasim Harris is there on the rebound and the putback. 32-29. Wildcats lead by 9 all of a sudden after the easy stick back from the big man, Kasim Harris. Colonels have really got to be careful here, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, I concur. It's
on the offense right now, scoring on the bucket closest to Oscar and I. McClure going to toe the three-point line. He'll try. Too strong. Harris is going to let it go out of bounds. That's last touch off of McClure on the three-point try. This is Wildcat basketball with 6:06 left to play in the third.
Josh McClure, 1 field goal on the night. He is cold as the weather is outside tonight.
Dan River leading by 9. Colonels look like they might be in a zone. They get down on the low post to Harris. Harris shot too strong, won't go. Got his own rebound after a deflection. Sticks it up and in.
And the Colonels are getting out hustled right now. They're getting beat on the offensive glass like they were in the last part of the first half.
Malback driving off the window, won't go down. Another quick shot. Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say. It's again, it wasn't the worst shot in the world. I mean, Malback's only about 5 or 6 feet away from the hoop. Now he was on the move,
but it was closely challenged,
and it was very quick. It was the first available shot for the Colonels to take. They've got it on the inbounds after the deflection. Nelly had a steam to the right side of the hoop, and he had it blocked away by Kasim Harris. Dan River going the other way. 3-on-2 fast break. Devin Stone can't get it to go, but he's bodied to the deck by a couple Colonels. Let's see who the foul ends up being on. This will send number 5, Devin Stone, a junior for the Dan River Wildcats, to the free throw line to shoot a pair with 5:28 left to play in the third. Dan River started the half up 2. They are on a 9-0 run. First free throw off the mark, though, by Devin Stone. On the court right now for the Wildcats, it's Stone, McCann, Anderson, Harris, and Durant. 5 starters for them. Starters for the Colonels are out there as well. They've got the basketball after Stone makes the second free throw. It's Malback, McClure, Dews, Poindexter, and Galliard. Poindexter nearly lost the basketball on the far sideline. Now he'll drive, gets the edge of the paint, cut off, harassed, and he lost the basketball.
When the Colonels look befuddled.
They had Dan River on the ropes like this early in the game. Now it's the Wildcats. McCann can't get the 3 to go. Nelson Dews rises nicely to collect the rebound. In and out of traffic. He'll pull up from the left wing just inside the three-point line. Jumper won't fall. Malback bodied up and bumped on the head as his stick-back effort was not near the rim, but he's going to head to the charity stripe to shoot 2 with 4:56 left to play in the third. 4 minutes and 56 seconds left in the Englishes, your complete home center third quarter, and your home for Carhartt apparel for men. That would come in very handy if you have to be outside in this brutal winter weather.
4:56 remaining in third quarter, and the Colonels just scratching on the offensive column. 1 point. We've seen some bad third quarters for the Colonels this year.
It's a 10-1 start in the third quarter for Dan River. Check that 10-2 as Malback sinks the second free throw. Colonels trail by 10, 35-25. 4:51 left to play in the third. This is Jaquan Durant, pardon me. Throws to Zamar Anderson at the free throw line. He angles to his left to the left edge of the paint, and then his foul as he was dumping it off to Kasim Harris. They'll say 2 shots. They think he was in the act of shooting. That's the third one on Mateo Mo.
That was on the floor.
Pardon me, third one on Nelson Dews. Yeah, they are saying it's on the well. They line up on the baseline to throw it in, and then one referee holds up 2 fingers to say he's in the act of shooting.
He was on the floor.
Colonel fans complaining about it a bit. Tamar Anderson, another junior, will step to the free throw line with 4:45 left to play in the third quarter. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Oscar Briggs. Thanks so much for joining us on KD Country. If you're a music fan, thanks for joining us, too. We like to do the basketball thing every now and then. Just a 1-game week for the Colonels, though, this week, Oscar. Friday, they are off.
Yes, one way or the other.
Right. Second free throw drained by Zamar Anderson. 36-25. Dan River extends the lead back to 11. 4:40 left to play in the third. One-hand pass from Malback to Adams on the right wing. Adams cuts off. Bounce pass back to McClure. McClure working to his left, throws a shot to the back.
Not a good shot by Josh.
Anderson tried to save it back in, but he had a foot of the baseline. It's going to be Colonel basketball. After, I guess you can call that a turnover, even though Anderson was trying to save it back in. 4:29 left to play in the third. Colonels to inbound. They throw the lob. Galliard's cut off. Kasim Harris just stood right in front of the hoop.
They've seen that play before. So has Chancellor Mormon.
Steal by Mormon. He'll throw it up ahead to Galliard. Galliard for the dunk, and he is fouled. Bennett McCann got just enough of him to knock that basketball out of his hand and cause Galliard to miss the dunk.
And a smart play by McCann, not allowing that dunk and letting that momentum change.
Gotta love the spark that Mormon provides on the defensive end off the bench. Another steal there, very reminiscent of the steal and then pitch that led to a Galliard dunk earlier. Galliard, short, simple free throw stroke, and Lawrence sinks the first one to cut the deficit back to 10. 36-26. 4:20 remains in the third quarter. Galliard eyes it, quick knee bend, fires it. That time it won't go in. Rebounded by Zamar Anderson in the left post. He splits the Colonel defense and he's into the front court very quickly. Full head of steam. Malback batted the pass away. Ends up in the hands of Devin Stone right in front of the timeline. 3-ball up on the way from JoJo Reynolds. Hit the backboard and then the iron. Rebound is loose and JoJo Reynolds grabbed it. And then a backcourt violation. The Wildcat fans think he got pushed into the backcourt.
And he might have.
Yep. But the refs are letting him play just a little bit.
And they did, a little bit contrast to what we saw in the first half. They kept things tight under control. Not a bad idea in this heated rivalry to keep that thing under control. They are letting them play a little bit now. It'll be fun to see. 4 minutes remaining. Colonel's trailing by 10 here in the third quarter.
Colonel basketball. Malback just a step inside the front court. Now he wants to drive. Floater up. Never drew iron. Galliard got the offensive board, and then he is fouled. Lawrence Galliard going to return to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Bet you can hear the crowd coming to life now. Third foul whistled on Kasim Harris. He's the 6'5 senior for the Dan River Wildcats. And it looks like Kenny Murphy will give Kasim Harris a breather, and the foul trouble probably the main reason for that. Galliard makes the first. It's a 9-point deficit now for the Colonels. Shooting on the right-hand bucket. Bucket closest to Oscar and I. Galliard sinks both. He's made 3 of his last 4. And really, the last 3 points for the Colonels. Anderson in the backcourt. Just hands off to JoJo Reynolds. Reynolds will high step into the front court, guarded by Malbeck. Could be his own defense again from the Colonels. Middle of the paint. Back to Zamar Anderson from straight away 7 feet. It was contested and he got it to go. 10-point lead again for Dan River.
Boy, Zamar Anderson being huge here in the third quarter, 6 points.
Colonels are going to have to get a stop and score and cut into this lead. McClure fires for 3. Long rebound controlled by Galliard on the offensive end. He's stuck looking for somewhere to go. Bounces down low and finds McClure. McClure's shot hit the backboard. Second chance try will go. Good perseverance and stick-to-itiveness by Josh McClure to get the bucket.
Boy, and that's where the effort's starting to pay off.
38-30.
There it is again.
There's a steal. Mormon picks it up, but it was poked over to him by Mateo Malbeck. Good job by the guard play for the Colonels to get an extra possession.
See if the Colonels can be patient here.
Colonels trail by 8. First chance they've had for a run. Oh, Mormon lost it. Stolen away by Jaquan Durant. Durant to the hoop and in off the backboard. 40-30. Dan River back up 10. Really just picked Mormon's pocket right at midcourt. Malbeck lost the handle. Stolen by Jaquan Durant. He did it again. Coming in from the right side. Lay-in will fall, and he is fouled. That's big. Another one that hung up on the rim for a long time and finally dropped down into the hole. Coach Harris wants to take a timeout. We'll take it with him. Colonels trail by 12. 2:32 left to play in the third on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today. El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
And speaking of El Cazador and Altavista, we know the gang up there likes to tune in, so we'll send a shout-out to Stephen, Adrian, Carlos, Eduardo, everybody up there at El Cazador. They're big basketball fans. Oscar, Colonels, I don't want to say they're in dire straits because they've still got 2.5 left in the third, but down 12 all of a sudden after trailing by 2 at the halftime break.
3 big turnovers back-to-back, and Durant really taking advantage. He's on a 4-point run by himself, getting ready to go to the free throw line for an opportunity to convert the 3-point play. If he makes it, Colonels trailing by 13 with 2:32 remaining. Get it down in that 8-point range. Keep it under double digits before they go into the fourth quarter, and they've got a chance.
And the Colonels had a great chance to cut into it, too, Oscar. They trailed by 8 at one point, and they got a turnover of their own. Remember that ball Malbeck poked over to Mormon, but they could not capitalize on it. Jaquan Durant does sink the free throw. That's an old-fashioned 3-point play. He's got the last 5 for the Wildcats. Jamal Thornhill in the ball game now, and he is tied up. That was...
he just handed the ball to the defender pretty much.
That was Devin Stone that got his hands on it. Possession arrow favors the Colonel.
Another
Thornhill's
steal?
got to get it inbounds, and he can't. A trio of Wildcats converge. Zamar Anderson, left side of the hoop, fouled. Shot doesn't fall, but he's going to take a trip and shoot 2 free throws with 2:19 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels trail by 13. Third quarter presented by English is your complete home center. And your headquarters for Atrium Vinyl Windows. Those Atrium Vinyl Windows going to pay for themselves over time and probably would pay for themselves this week to keep that cold weather out of your home.
Josh McClure came off the floor. Anderson knocks down the free throw foul.
McClure is going to attempt to, well, he will come out of the ball game now, pardon me. Tamar Anderson continues this really good third quarter that he has had. Nelson Dews and Josh McClure going to have a little bit of a conversation here as Nelly goes over there to ask Josh something.
Josh came out, his finger was pointing the wrong direction.
Long 3 on the way from Nelson. It's just a bit short. Rebound is loose. Scamper for it. Tamar Anderson has it. Now Malbeck tries to tie him up, and he does so successfully. The possession arrow will favor the Dan River Wildcats, pardon me. McClure's going to get some medical attention here down at the end of the bench. Dan River basketball in the backcourt with 2:05 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels trail by 15. Colonels look to be in a man-to-man defense. This is Devin Stone now over in the right corner of JoJo Reynolds. Reynolds back to Stone between the circles. Now it's Jaquan Durant who will catch and drive. Cut off at the free throw line. Three-pointer up and good. JoJo Reynolds cashing in from the right wing, and gosh, the Wildcats are up 18 all of a sudden. Remember, this was a 2-point game at halftime. Malback bumped by Reynolds as he was trying to catch the basketball. That's a foul on the floor, and it'll be the 5th one on the Wildcats as a team. 1:33 left to play in the third quarter. 48-30, Dan River on top. They led 25-23 at the halftime break. Adams catches on the inbounds, drives, puts his head down. Wild shot won't go. Rebound is loose. Thornhill trying to grab it. They can't wrestle it away from Jamari Whittle. Wildcats into the front court quickly. 3-ball, too strong from JoJo Reynolds. One-hand rebound pulled in by Mateo Malback. He'll one-hand pass it into the front court. Nelson Dews eyeing the rim. Now he wants to try a three. It's too strong. Adams will save it into Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill trapped in the far corner. Somehow lobs it over to Jacob Adams.
Another steal by Durant.
It bumped into the referee, and then Durant fell down out of bounds. The Dan River fans are going to give it to the referee because he was in Jaquan Durant's way, but nothing he could really do about it.
No, he's laughing.
Got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
At least nobody tried to trip him like it happened in the
Oregon State, wasn't it? Yeah. Yep. Colonel basketball in the front court with 55 seconds remaining in the quarter. Colonel's desperately in need of some points here, of any kind. A free throw, a field goal, a three-pointer, doesn't matter.
When Dan Rivers just ratcheted up their defense and made it virtually impossible.
They have. They are really
locking down the Colonels.
Adams in the corner right in front of us. That's the right corner. Soft pass got picked off by Devin Stone. Stone lost the handle. Good hustle by Nelson Dews to trace him down and poke it away as Stone was going to go into the layup. Adams will come out. Cameron Hughes and Chancellor Mormon enter the game. Jamal Thornhill is the other guy to exit for the Colonels.
31.7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Colonels trailing 48-30.
Mormon and Hughes join Malback, Galliard, and Nelson Dews. First shot won't go. Stick back will go. That's Jamari Whittle for two from 1 foot away. Wildcats lead by 20, 50-30. It hasn't been in the blink of an eye, but it hadn't taken that long either. Malback, touch pass to Galliard in the mid-post, right edge, will shoot it from 10 feet and gets it to go.
Hey, amazing what a little patience will do.
Good passing as well. Oh man, the high arcing shot goes in at the buzzer. That was Amar Anderson for two. 20-point Dan River lead to end the third quarter. Wow, and the Wildcat fans, let them know about it. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Colonels trail by 20 on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Big-time third quarter for the Dan River Wildcats. We started the third quarter, Oscar. It was 25-23. It's now 52-32. Dan River with an offensive explosion. The defense wasn't bad either, Mr. Briggs.
No, they got into the passing lanes, disrupted them. Several steals. Just really shut the Colonels down offensively, and lo and behold, it's a 20-point lead. Like you said, it didn't happen in the blink of an eye, yet it happened pretty quickly.
They really made Altavista pay for all the mistakes that they made, didn't they? It was a well-executed third quarter by a well-oiled machine, the Dan River Wildcats. They're 10-1 coming into the season. Colonels are 11-2. No pushovers themselves, but Dan River with a seriously good third quarter. Malback driving, left edge of the paint, throws up a wild lay-in that almost went down. Malbeck was probably about a foot or two off the ground when he released the basketball as he was going to the deck. He'll toe the free throw line with 7:48 left to play in the English's Your Complete Home Center third quarter. Colonels trail by 20. Good chance to score without the clock moving, though. And number 3, Mateo Malbeck, the junior, does sink the first free throw. An update from the Lady Colonels action in Altavista. Altavista leading 30-18 at halftime. We'll keep an eye on that one. Free throw, no good on the second try by Malbeck. Wildcats get the rebound. And now the trainer here at Dan River, Aaron Taylor, is done working on Josh McClure. He's going to work on Daquan Poindexter next. Poindexter and McClure have both not been in the game in a little while here for the Colonels. Anderson got stuck underneath the hoop and then fouled by a combination of Cameron Hughes and Lawrence Galliard.
Big third quarter there from the Dan River Wildcats. Jaquan Durant with 9, Zamar Anderson with 10.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. And it was a 25-23 Dan River lead at the half. They have 52 to start the fourth quarter. So my math tells me that was a 28-point quarter, Oscar. Is that right? You know math's not my strong suit. I might have just made myself look like an idiot.
Close, 27.
27. Okay, not that much of an idiot then. Maybe I was counting the made free throw there from Zamar Anderson. This is the second. Galliard clears the board right in front of the hoop. Up ahead to Cameron Hughes. Hughes will try a contested shot, won't go. Galliard stick back, hung up on the rim, it wouldn't fall. Wow, that kind of a night now for the Colonels, at least that kind of a second half anyway. Wildcats got going quickly, then lost the handle, but they're going to whistle. Chancellor Mormon with a foul. No, pardon me, the foul is on Nelson Dews. That should be his fourth. 6th on the Colonels as a team. And 7:18 left to play in the fourth. Inbound play happened very quickly. Oscar didn't even get a chance to talk. That was Jamari Whittle for 2 on the catch and stick in. 55-33. Wildcats lead by 22. Nelson will dribble to his right with the right hand. Quick pass in the corner to Chancellor Mormon. He'll circle the defense to his left. Now they've got it left baseline to Cameron Hughes. His shot attempt was blocked. Nelson Dews recovers it for the Colonels. Altavista basketball on the second chance after the block. They're scoring on the bucket close to us. Nelly will try the 3. Too strong. Rebounded by Whittle.
Colonels are crashing the boards, and they're just getting beat down the floor.
Oh, Jaquan Durant had a layup get altered by Nelson Dews. He somehow found a way to get it out of his hand, throw it to the backboard, and it falls in. I'm a little bit shocked they didn't whistle Nelly for his 5th foul there, Oscar.
Yeah, I am too.
Josh McClure's at the scorer's table waiting to go back into the game, so he is okay. At least okay enough to play through the paint. 57-33. Colonels trail by 25.
Galliard's had 2 or 3 stick backs that just wouldn't go. Made a nice drive there and held up by Jamari Whittle. Whittle come in and played a really, really good second half.
He didn't play much when Kasim Harris was in the game. Harris got his 3rd foul, and Coach Kenny Murphy sent Jamari Whittle in there, and he's playing very well. Whittle is a senior as well. 57-33. It's a 25-point deficit for the Altavista Colonels. Dan River looking to add to it. Here's Devin Stone driving, kick out to JoJo Reynolds. It's good. Reynolds was about 24 feet away on the left wing, and he can really stroke it out there. 60-33. Dan River relentless on the offensive end and the defensive end. Nelson Dews will try the 3. That's good from dead on. Colonels needed that. 60-36 now. Remember, we were tied 17-17 at halftime. Or pardon me, at the end of the first quarter. My, how far we've come. It's a 2-point Dan River lead at halftime. But we honestly thought that Altavista had outplayed him in the first half. Here's Josh McClure back in the ball game, bumped by Zamar Anderson. McClure came out for about a 3-minute stretch and got attended to by the trainer here. And it looked like they were maybe popping a finger back in place, Oscar. He's right here in front of us. And you could tell McClure was noticeably in pain over here on the Colonel bench. Looked like it was the left hand. So hopefully it doesn't affect the shooting for Josh. They don't have any. Does he have a little sleeve on it like they do in the NBA? Or no, not taped up either. You know, in the NBA, they all wear those little finger sleeves.
He might have something.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's got it buddy taped. He's got it taped with the ring finger, the pinky and the ring finger in the left hand from McClure taped together. Does sink the first free throw, the right-handed shooting junior, number 30, Josh McClure. 5:21 left to play in the fourth. Second one on the way, in and out, no good. Galliard had the rebound momentarily, but had it stripped away by Zamar Anderson.
These Dan River front court is just a little too strong for Lawrence right now.
They're big, they're strong, they're fast, they're active with the hands too, Oscar.
I mean, Lawrence's speed-wise and jumping ability has played with them, but they're just a little bit stronger right now, a little bit more physically mature.
Anderson, 14-footer from the left side of the paint, won't go. Rebound tapped over to Mateo Malbec. Colonels on the move on offense. They trail 60-37, under 5 to play. McClure, fadeaway jumper, moving towards the baseline left. He sinks it. He's obviously okay.
Well, maybe he should have hurt his finger earlier.
Turnover there in the backcourt.
Just kidding, guys.
I know. I know you're kidding. Maybe it's a good idea that you said just kidding, though. 60-39. Colonels trail by 21. 4:44 left to play in the ball game in regulation. Boy, it would be a monster comeback if the Colonels could do it. Oh, Adams, nice sidestep move. Gets to the edge of the rim and it won't fall down. Wildcats on offense with 4.5 left to play. Shot blocked away. They get down the court so quickly,
yes,
too.
They do.
You can't blink. You can't look down at your roster. It's Devin Stone attacking the rim from the left side. And you're Colonels hustled back and blocked it away, but they get you out of position.
Well, and you're trying to attack the boards on the offensive end, but if you don't rotate, if you're off guard, weak side player does not rotate back, they exploit it, they're gone.
You got to have at least one back on defense. You probably need 2 back because they get out and run those fast breaks very quickly. Stone missed the first, made the second. Dan River lead is 61-39. 4.5 to play in the ball game. Malbec will jog it into the front court, in and out of traffic. Chest pass to Galliard. Galliard fouled as he was going to the left edge of the 10. Free throw line time now for Lawrence Galliard with 4:20 left to play in the fourth.
That'll be on Jamari Whittle, and Lawrence will go to the line to shoot 2.
You and I were remarking off the air that we thought maybe this Dan River team not as good as years past. I think the third quarter might make us rethink that just a little bit, Oscar.
Certainly, we talked about going in their athleticism. Not as strong a shooting team as they've had in the past, but, boy, they've shown the ability to shoot the ball and knock down threes tonight, too. So,
well, and Coach Harris said in the pregame interview, if you leave them open, they will knock it down. JoJo Reynolds can shoot. Bennett McCann can shoot. Devin Stone and Jaquan Durant can shoot enough to keep you honest.
6 threes on the game tonight.
Wow. Pretty good for the high school ranks. 4:12 left to play. Nelson Dews, tried to get a steal. Really sold out for that one, too. Durant managed to reel it back in. Over to Stone. Now extra pass to Anderson, who's waiting on the left block. Sticks it up off the window and in. 63-40. Dan River lead at 23. McClure, crossover dribble. Right hand, lost it. Zamar Anderson poked it away. He fell down trying to go the other way. That's a traveling violation. But again, they make you work so hard, Oscar, just to catch, just to dribble, just to do anything. Timeout on the court. Colonels take it. We'll take it with them. They trail by 23, under 4 to play in the